Bye.
Do you see it's got a handle?
Yeah, that's for pushing people, isn't it?
Pushing. Because it's broken down. It's always broken down. You see it's broken down?
Oh, yeah, I can see it's crashed into the wall.
It's broken.
Oh, no.
Mr. Ball is here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See? There's stickers. You see?
Yeah.
I'm talking, you see?
All right, I see.
You parking. You park. I park. You like my seatbelt?
Oh, I love that.
It's my seatbelt.
Will you do me a favour? You can get yourself some shoes on in case you get glass in your feet.
Okay.
What I've done, I've got this, which is going to go there. That's going to go along there. And I've made these ribs. Now, nothing's in place yet. What I've got is I've just started to mark it out. So that's hollow behind there, and this is hollow behind there. So I'm going to have to make some sort of like blocks to go to screw into the back of it. But what I've done is I've marked out where the screws are going to be able to go in, because as you can see there's like lots of holes and whatnot in these in like these ribs, and I don't want my screws to land in them, but I don't want to also be holding it there while I'm screwing it, so I'd rather do the pilot holes while it's laid down. Right, it's the end of another day. I think it's about 5 days I've probably spent, maybe 5 or 6 days I've spent on it. Like solid full days. And that does not include research and all that sort of stuff. That's taken way bloody longer. So yeah, what have I done today? I've put all this racking up. Alright guys, it's coming on. I've got insulations up, the racking's now up and it's on and it's glued. I've got only a couple of little bits to finish off around there really, and then it's going to be today. I'm going to start putting the roofing up. I think if the weather holds out. It's a bit chillier today. It's been sunnier for the last couple of days. So yeah, I can't see much now in the way of stopping me from actually putting up the actual cladding. What I am going to do, I've decided that I'm going to raise these like wooden battens that I've put in place so that it's level with the insulation. If the plywood was thick enough, I'm sure it would pull the insulation in, but because the insulation's slightly proud, I'm gonna put some of the 6mm ply, I think, actually on here to raise it back. Otherwise, I fear that the cladding with it only being 6mm is gonna go like that, and we don't want that. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then, yeah, not far off now really. These little gaps I'll fill. It's alright talking about what I'm going to do, but it just changes constantly all day. I've realised over the last few days, filming and whatnot, that I'll say I'm going to do a certain set of things and then I'll actually do a completely different set of things. So that's kind of just me, that really. Been doing some doodling. We started out from really general and got to a more specific. So originally I was actually toying with ideas on how I could lay the ply out. So we had one sheet of ply there, like a solid sheet of ply, and then 2 side pieces and some front pieces, but that were too much joining for my liking. Then I thought, well, what about 2 and 1, and it didn't quite work. And then I thought about this one, which is the same as that one but cut on the join so that they could be joined at that point. And then I thought, well, 4 pieces. I've kind of stuck with this one. So what I've done is I've used an 8x4 sheet ply, so 8" there, and I've converted it to millimetres, and I've worked out that up to one of the ribs, I think it's the second rib in from the back, it's 1660, and then from that rib to the front it's 1510. However, I haven't got 4 sheets, I've only got 3, so those 3 are fine. This panel I'll have to use offcuts. It's alright because I can still flip them round so that I've got a nice machined edge, but yeah. So then I worked out where all the ribs were, where they need to be screwed in, and then I've worked out where the lights were. It got a little bit tiny. There's a big stupid permanent marker. So here we are. This is like the final one. It's kind of drawn to scale. Well, obviously it's downscaled, but it should be accurate. that's been. It's not perfect, but it's up. Straight edge. It's got about like 1/2 mm gap in it at one point. That's not really bowing as much now. I can live with that. You probably can't even see anything there because it's going dark. I suppose you might consider this quite rudimentary, but because I cut the top of this after I'd already marked everything out to make it fit properly, it makes the next piece that's going to fit onto that slightly harder to like guess, because it's not going to be the same, and because it was rough cut, there's a chance that one side might be slightly narrower than the other side. So what I'm doing is I've actually put a piece of tape up onto the ceiling, and I have marked out exactly where the centre of each one is and the edge of each piece of wood. Hopefully that'll make it so that the next board that joins on to that will line up as accurately as I can. I've got some insulation, it's foil insulation, it's got glass fibres in the middle of it I think. It's got glass fibres in the middle of it to make it strong enough, but it's basically thick aluminium, glass fibres, and it's used as a vapour barrier. I've seen a lot of people use some adhesive already on the back. That would make the job a hell of a lot easier. However, I don't have any, so what I'm going to use instead is multi-purpose instant contact adhesive. I'm going to use that instead. I'll spray it up and I'll stick it up and see how it works out. It's going out like bloody silly string. Probably way too much, but who cares? Right, let's try and get this on without covering my sen in it. Oh. Right, I managed to get underneath successfully. I'm not moist yet. Proper sticky. I thought it'd be crap, being honest. My other half would be kicking off. I don't even massage her, never mind my bloody van roof. She'd be like, nothing. Keeps telling me to rub her back at the minute, she's pregnant. And I'm like, oh God, I've hurt my wrist. Right. Well, I've done a good shit job of that, haven't I? Vapour barrier's up now. I've very roughly sealed around the top up there. Now comes the time, to get that up there. Bit of a nightmare trying to hold the wood up and do all this at the same time. I've got it spot on, bang on, and you want to know how I did it? Like no accurate measuring whatsoever. I've used a stick. I've got one side for the distance between them, and I've got the other side. It's how far from the edge and from the back. How far from the back.